Okay, so first off, we don't have pubs, but more on that later. So to start off with your question, I don't think we have alternative names to things except for like a buck is for $1 or like a couple bucks for a couple dollars, but that's pretty much all I can think of. Like, we don't, we say television, TV, and we don't really have different names for things. Oh, we do call beer a brew. Like, if you're getting a beer for someone, you'd be like, oh, grab me a brew, or like, some people say brewski, or I think that's actually a name of a company, but if it's not, then that's what it is. I don't drink, so there's that.
You think that if you just scratch on the door and look cute, that I'll just let you in, huh? Huh, Linus? Well, you would be right. Huh. Huh.
But on that note of bars and pubs and beers and things like that, we move on to Cinco de Mayo. So no one actually understands what Cinco de Mayo is, especially not if you live in the United States, but I actually today helped my exchange sister do a report on Cinco de Mayo. So I recently actually learned what it was about. So Cinco de Mayo was when the French army invaded Mexico and was trying to take it over, but they had a huge army and Mexico had a tiny army, and against everything, all possible odds, Mexico won this one battle. And then after a little longer, they kept invading and invading and invading, and eventually they, took over, but they won the war. Mexico just won this one battle, but America was like, hey, good for you, Mexico, we're gonna, push this holiday for you anyway because you won this awesome battle, I guess. Someone else might describe it better, but that's what I got from the feel of the different places that I searched. But they celebrate it in Mexico with parades and drinking and festivals and things like that. But in America, it's an excuse to get drunk. So there's that. And also, a lot of people think that it's the Mexican Independence Day, which is actually September 15th or 16th or somewhere around there. But everyone thinks it's that, which is not. So no one actually knows what Cinco de Mayo is. They just know that it's the 5th of May and everyone gets drunk. Except me, because as we've already been over, I don't drink. And on that note, we move on. But my cat is attacking my leg and I just hit the washer with my watch. Down. Okay. So on to the question for you. So we talked about ages where things happen. Yeah? You know what I mean? So on that same note, I have to go to work in about 7 hours, unfortunately. So here in America, we can start officially working like a W-2 job when we are 16 years old. Well, okay, so let's take this back. You can officially start when you're like 14, but most companies, it's so restricted that you can't do it at certain hours. It has to be in like 2-hour increments and this often and during these hours, that no one will hire you until you're 16. So that is when most people start working. But, you start doing like yard work and babysitting and things like that when you're like 12. So my question for you is, what is the age you can actually legally start working that don't interfere with like child labor laws and things? Child labor laws? Okay, now that just brought up this question. What are your child labor laws like? So that is actually a very large question, so I'm glad I only thought of one. Did I think of one? I might have interjected a second one in there. There you go. I don't know. Okay, well, I am going to go to sleep because, as I said before, I have to go to work in 7 hours. So I will see you on Monday.